Welcome to the Dream Huge podcast, where we'll talk with real estate investors, entrepreneurs, business leaders, athletes, and more to inspire you with their success stories so you can work hard, never give up, and dream huge. And now, let's start the show.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Dream Huge podcast, man. 100 episodes, 100, amazing feat. Thank you, huge thank you to these three guys right here, man. These guys do an amazing job of bringing guests, of bringing content, bringing knowledge, bringing entertainment. And a huge thank you to all the listeners and viewers out there as well, because without you, there's no reason to do this. So thank you for all the downloads, all the streams, all the views. So much appreciated. So we're going to have lots of fun on this one. We're going to recap. We're going to talk about our favorite moments, our favorite guests, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And we're looking forward to another 100 episodes. So let me get to our hosts first and foremost. JP, John Pavlansky, JP for 3. What is up, JP?
What is going on, Mr. Peterson? We are at episode 100. And although I wasn't on episode 1, I came in about episode 30 or so, I feel like. But it has been a blast doing this podcast, meeting the people we've got to meet, having the conversation we've had to have, and just connecting with other folks and being able to tell success stories and share stories from others and motivate and inspire everybody that's listening to the podcast. I'm excited to this and talk about some recap of some episodes, and then also talk where we are all at in our personal lives too. So I'm jacked up. I'm doing great. And Pete, how are you doing, my man?
Excellent. Outstanding as always. Thank you, JP. Yeah, huge thank you to the guests, obviously. Man, they do an amazing job. Some better than others, but that's what's great about podcasts. They're live. They are cut. We do cut out some of the stuff, but most of the content is live. So we've also got Biggie in the house, Justin Bigelow. What is up, Biggie?
Just enjoying episode number 100. I can't believe we made it this far. And I think we've been doing this podcast for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
I think it's been 2 years. It's been amazing. 100 episodes. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And Biggie's got the shades on today. Like it. Yeah. I'm digging the shades.
It's different today. It's sunny out there. Somebody told me one day, wise man once said at Best Buy, so why do you have your glasses on still, man? You're inside. He's like, the sun never sets on a badass. I was like, oh, okay, guy.
All right. Yep, that's why you see rock stars and, badasses like Justin Bigelow wearing sunglasses all the time. And let me get to our producer extraordinaire, Mark Gray, who really came up with this whole concept. So Mark Gray, slanging deals every day. What's up, Mark?
Not a lot. Just enjoying the beautiful weather. I'm so glad it's not cold outside anymore. But it's the 100th episode. It's a huge milestone. I'm super excited to be here, and I'm glad we've stuck with it. I'm just excited to get this thing rolling.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Mark, for everything you do for this show, man. Much appreciated. Yeah, and it's funny as we continue to book guests all over the world. We got hooked up with some different podcast booking companies, and they continue to drive guests to us because I get asked the question sometimes, where do you find your guests? Well, our local guests are awesome, and they're usually our most listened to guests, our local guests. So huge thank you to our local guests. But we continue to get guests from all over the world. I think because in part to our consistency. And they're looking at our numbers and seeing the fact that we post on a consistent basis, and we post now 100 episodes. Anybody looking to just share or their product or share their ideas, they're looking for someone that has that programming consistency that the Dream Huge podcast has. So again, huge shout out to you guys with super busy schedules, making the time to do this every week, twice a week, and released once a week. So let's get into it. Let's start with, why don't we go with our favorite guests first? Out of 100 guests, and you might have to go down the list to refresh your memory. JP, why don't you go first? Who was your favorite guest and why?
So I do have a favorite guest. We haven't released his episode yet, though. So I'm going to hold off on saying him. I was just actually going through our podcast and looking at who my favorite guest was. Because I'm sitting here thinking, like, gosh, we've had so many great people on the podcast. But I'll say more than anybody, who it was just energetic, it was funny, it was informative, it was motivating. The success story was amazing. Is a local guy that we got right down the road at the old News Journal building, Mr. Tristan Gardner. That was my favorite freaking episode. I mean, Pete took his shirt off. Pete took his shirt off on that episode. He was flexing in the camera. We dropped some gems in that one. That by far, I think, was my favorite episode to record for sure.
Nice. Yeah. You know, it's funny you said Tristan. I'm just going to agree before I get to Biggie and Mark. And that's crazy out of 100. And I'm trying to come up with a difference in opinion there, but we will on some of the other stuff. But Tristan brought the energy, and he's a huge 10X guy, Grant Cardone guy. We're all on that same page. And yeah, it was, and that dude is just amazing. And we jokingly told him that he was our favorite at the time, but he still holds the title to this day. So shout out Tristan Gardner, entrepreneur, real estate investor as well, and just a great overall positive mindset out of that young man. Mm-hmm. So yeah, excellent stuff. Now, JP, I know it hasn't been released yet, but who else was your favorite who is yet to be released?
Our guy from Australia.
Yeah.
Our guy from Australia. I don't know if you've listened to that episode at all yet, but dude is hilarious. And he's all about it. I mean, he is about it. He's about cigars, he's about bourbon, and he's about being funny, and he's about investing in some real estate. So yeah, no, I off the top of my head, I know he had a little bit of a wild name. I can't pull it, but yeah, he was a freaking blast to talk with.
Yeah, he was awesome. So you guys will get that soon. Coming soon. All right, Biggie, who was your favorite and why?
So I haven't listened to a lot of the episodes. Just get on here and record. So it's hard to go back and see like the ones that you've done without me. So, but thinking like the ones that I've been a part of, I think my favorite one has got to be the one we did with Ricky Carruth. And it's because I helped set that thing up, and I've always wanted to talk to Ricky. I met him in person last year, invited him on the podcast over a year ago, and then we finally made it happen. And so it felt really cool to actually have a private conversation with Ricky instead of watching all his YouTube videos. So that's probably my favorite one with Ricky Carruth.
Yeah, no doubt. One of my top as well. An actual influencer, over 500,000 followers, millions of followers across platforms. One of the top agents in the world, top real estate agents in the world. Now, one of the top coaches in the world.
Right.
And to have him on the show, as we do more of these shows and get bigger and bigger people on the show, it's pretty cool. It's humbling. That they would take time out of their days to spend with us and share their message. So yeah, he was one of the bigger names we had on the show for sure.
Right. Yeah. And he's with his coaching, he's charging more for it now. So it's getting like he's diving into it. He's fully leveraging who he is now. So, all of our guests, we don't pay for them. Like we don't pay them to be on the show. So that was really cool that Ricky spent over an hour with us, free of charge, because he's charging thousands of dollars an hour for his coaching.
And he delivered some stuff too, man. Not only knowledge, but some funny stories that he said was the first time he shared publicly.
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, that's what happens when the camera turns on. You never know what's going to come out.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of it too, man. We get to sit here and learn from these guys. We're not the guys that got the knowledge. I mean, we do, but we at the same time we're learning from all these guys, learn how they did it and what they did differently. And Ricky was for sure one that we learned some gems from and brought back to the meeting too.
Yeah, you guys just have that charm to bring out the inner beast of people, talking just normal conversations, man.
Right. Just give us those deep, dark secrets. Put them out for everybody. Right. Okay, Mark, who's your favorite and why?
I'd have to go with Christian and Cody. I mean, they're bigger pockets, kind of celeb people, but the main reason why I would pick them is they said a couple things in there that really caught my attention and made me want to structure some of my portfolio that way.
Yeah. Which was like what? What were a couple things?
So the main thing was how they're paying off their debt. So they have stepping stones, and they'll have a section of their portfolio in this block. And then once that block is filled, they just attack it to pay it off. They're still acquiring new properties and stuff, but that's in the next block. And they're not attacking the debt on that one. Mm-hmm. All the income from everything else, all the other stepping stones, attacks that first block. And then once that block is completely paid for, that whole section is debt-free, and then they'll jump on the next block and start paying that one off. Yeah. A lot of these guys, I feel like, go into debt, and they leverage to the max, and they don't have a plan of paying that stuff off, but they did.
Yeah, Christian and Cody were amazing as well. Yeah, that's a good real estate investing lesson right there. You know, be careful with over leveraging. And if you do, make sure you have reserves, because, you know, you guys know, as being a real estate investor, you'll have months, if not years, where you lose money on properties. If you've got those properties paid down or off, it's a lot easier to operate, a little more breathing room. So yeah, great advice from Mark and Christian and Cody.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Sorry, Pete. That reminded me when Mark was just saying that, and he told me that the other day. It's the Dave Ramsey snowball effect. That's exactly what it is, but it's applied toward big debt, you know, big positive real estate debt. And that's exactly what it is when he told me that. And I just thought it was beautiful because, you know, some people may not be a fan of Dave Ramsey, and some people worship him like he's a blessing from God, which he's certainly blessed a lot of people. But, you know, applying that to a lot of those people are real estate investors. They believe in all this debt. They love debt. They love, you know, this good debt. Well, how are you going to pay it off? You can actually use Dave Ramsey's methods and apply it.
Now, Mark, what's your block structure look like? What do you have, like a target goal for your first block that you want to get to? Hey, when I get to this point where I know I have $15K passive, then I'm going to start paying that block off.
I think it's going to be about 1 million assets for debt.
Nice.
Love it. Just curious.
Yeah.
Have to plan it out.
It comes down to, a lot of it is corporate structure and mitigating risk. So not having too many properties in one LLC, and then the valuation of that whole LLC. Because if you're thinking $1 million per block, that could be 2 properties or 20 properties.
Yep. And very important to be your own CFO. Know and track where your money's coming and going. You know, Chris Crone, another guy we follow, had mentioned that the other day, and that really stuck with me. We haven't had him on the program just yet.
That dude is insanity.
Yeah, he's good.
That dude's like Grant Cardone, but young.
Yeah. No, I like Chris. I don't agree with everything. Like, just a lot of these guys, you don't agree with everything they say, but certain things, you know, really strike a chord. So, okay, let's get into this. Who do you guys think are the top 3 downloads as far as the audio version? You guys know this is available on audio wherever podcasts are found. It also is on YouTube in the video version. Who's the top 3? And you guys don't know, so this is kind of like a fun little game. JP, help me out top 3, and I'll tell you if you got any one of them correct.
All right, I'm gonna say Taylor Huff.
Okay.
Local celeb. Jody Perry.
Okay. And
Sal Sortino.
Okay. You have you have score of 0.
Whoa! Wow. Okay, I'm surprised by that. Yes,
but those were 3 amazing guests. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you, you're going to be one of them. You may not be so surprised, because we notice a theme: athletes get a lot. The athletes we bring on get a ton of views and downloads. But none of those 3 are in the top 3. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
There you go.
And Jody, and who else did you say?
Sal
was amazing. Sal Sortino, and Taylor Huff, maybe the greatest soccer player in the history of the world before she's done. So, and she's right here from Mansfield, Ohio. Okay, but incorrect on all 3. Sorry. Okay, Biggie, you're up next.
So I have like a 3% chance, greater chances than him now.
Right. Mark's going to have even better chance.
I know one.
I don't know any of these. I can't remember the numbers, but you said athletes, so part of this is cool because you guys can go back and hunt these episodes if you haven't even seen them. But we interviewed now NFL rookie Cade Stover.
Yes.
Cade Stover was on our channel.
He was.
So maybe
Lexington alum, Ohio State team captain. Drafted by the Houston Texans. Go back and check out the episode. Unfortunately, Cade, you were not in our top 3.
What?
Come back on, bro. You'll get up there then. So he's not on. What about? I know when we first started, and maybe people are clicking on it because it's like episode 2 or episode 4. I think it was Alex, the woodworking guy.
Oh.
Yes, Alex Roy. Alex Roy, number 2 most downloaded. Local woodworking talent, model, amongst other things. Yeah, he's just a guy that kind of does it all. Alex Roy. So shout out to Alex, our number 2 most downloaded.
So then I'm gonna guess number 3. I don't know. I just gotta say Ricky because I don't know many of the guest names.
Although Ricky may have been our most followed guest, he was not our most downloaded. Not in our top 3, Ricky. Sorry, buddy. Okay, Mark.
Man.
What you got? So far we got Alex Roy, number 2. I'm looking for 2 more. And I gave you a little clue. One's probably an athlete. Another one, I don't know if I want to give it away. I'll say I'll give you a little hint because you're the last guy to guess. He's a local guy, but he also does real estate investing.
All right. So I was going to say Alex. I knew that he was up there just because I see the downloads and I knew he was number 1. But he's number 2 now?
He is number 2. He is actually number 1. Sorry.
Okay.
You're correct. Yeah. So I've got 2 and 3.
So DePriest's brother, Asian Madison kid?
Tyrell.
Yeah.
He got a lot, but unfortunately not the top 3.
Okay.
What?
This is crazy.
Oh, man.
And this is good too, like you said, Biggie. Now that we're mentioning all these, people can go back and listen to these episodes again.
Yeah.
Right.
All those names, even if they're not in the top 3, they were still amazing episodes.
Yeah, this is a tricky one. My 2 were going to be Alex and Cade. Biggie took mine.
Local real estate investor. Local real estate investor is what I'm looking for, or another athlete.
What about Brad? We're going to shoot for Brad?
Incorrect.
Oh, my God.
Amazing stuff Brad Parton does. Unfortunately, not in the top 3 amazing as far as our downloads. All right, so here they are. Alex Roig, number 1. Isaac Chitwood.
Oh.
Isaac Chitwood, number 2. Soccer player, professional soccer player now. I think he went overseas. Now I think he's back in Cleveland.
Cleveland Crunch, indoor soccer, professional soccer team. Yep.
Yes, shout out Isaac Chitwood and the whole Chitwood family. Love those guys. And number 3 is William Barber.
Oh,
man.
William Barber. And between Brad and William, and just some takeaways that I have from those guests, but those 2 guys, man, I've learned more about real estate investing from those 2 guys. They're amazing. Surround yourself. That's why it's important to have those mentors, especially local ones, where it's not just, podcasts are great, but to really spend some time with somebody and see the ins and outs of how they operate. That's how you really can learn. But yeah, shout out to Brad Parton and William Barber, amongst others. But those are the first 2 that really stick out to me.
Yeah. That's surprising. Yeah. I'm surprised on all those. That's crazy.
Alex Roig, Isaac Chitwood, Will Barber.
Well, we can go to round 2 of this guessing game real quick because we also have a YouTube top 3. Yes. Since we had started doing videos, we also have a top 3 YouTube views list. And these are a little surprising. I'm a little surprised on these ones. So I'm curious if anybody can guess one. We'll run through the same thing. I know them. They're in front of me. So Pete, you go ahead and start off. Who do you think is a top 3 on YouTube?
Okay. Well, we already know one, I think. Did you mention, or did he get overtaken? Frank Medley.
That does not count. That was an interview from 4 years ago. That was not a Dream Huge podcast.
Okay, Frank. Sorry, Frank. You do not qualify. My rock and roll brother, Frank Medley. Okay, top 3 views. I'm going to go athlete.
None of them have been said yet.
Okay, wow. Well, in some of our earlier ones, like we didn't start putting on video till what, episode 25 or 50 or something like that?
It was probably I'd say about 50 or so.
Shoot. None have even been said yet. Man, I don't know. You guys go while I'm thinking.
All right, I got 2 that I'll guess.
All
Austin?
Austin Rutherford, not on the list.
And what about Jason Lamar? I thought that was a good one.
Jason Lamar is also not on.
Oh, I know who it is. Kyle Perry.
Kyle Perry is not
Oh my
on
God.
the list.
Goodness, we're striking out here.
One of them was one of the first videos we ever did.
Give us some more clues.
We've got one real estate investor on the list. The one is, I mean, I did not expect this one to be up there. The one I am like, I don't think anybody's going to guess. But I'll say there is a real estate investor that's on the list as well.
What
CJ.
about
CJ is not on the list. That is a good guess, though.
What about Idleburst? Danny Mignault.
No.
Jeez, goodness.
I have one hint. I have two more hints that I could give, but I think they'll give two of the people away.
All right, well, help us out. We're struggling.
One of the people is on this call right now.
What?
Oh, you.
Yes, I was number 3.
Nice.
I was like number 3.
Question. Excellent.
Any other guesses that we got?
JP for 3 was number 3. No, give us some more clues.
I'll give you that.
Oh.
Sal Sortino, baby. Numero uno.
Oh.
Sal is the most viewed YouTube guest we've ever had.
Jeez, is that right?
Yes. Sal Sortino.
Shout out Sal Sortino.
And he was one of the first ones we did on Riverside.
Yeah.
And number 3, Brandon Groskow.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Trandon.
Trandon was number 2, excuse me.
With ADP.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Local guy.
Oh,
Like
wow.
Brandon with a T, baby.
Yep.
You never forget it.
Great stuff. So what are I don't know what else we want to hit on here. What about, and we can go around the room again, what about just some common themes, some takeaways?
I think one thing that I've been able to take away from a lot of people, regardless of where they were, especially just on our podcast, where they were in their life now, is that every single person had the 3 rules. They worked hard, they never gave up, and they truly did dream huge. And we heard that a freaking ton. I mean, we just had another guest on, which we have not released yet, but that one's going to be a good one. He was formerly a heroin addict and turned into a multi-millionaire and has over 8 figures in real estate now. So, I mean, that is the epitome of working hard, never giving up, and dreaming huge. And as funny as it is, and it's the Dream Huge podcast, that is one of the themes that have reigned supreme throughout every episode that we've done so far.
Mark, Biggie, takeaways, common themes?
I would say that we, as the host, always learn something new every single time. Like, we personally learn something.
Yeah, everybody's story's different.
There's a lot of times where we came back on a Tuesday or Thursday meeting with something that we took from the podcast.
Yeah, I think some of the common themes for me are, self-accountability. Everyone is very self-accountable, extreme accountability. They know they are where they are because of them and only them. The hard work ethic is also a common theme.
Another one that I noticed just in asking the rapid fire round is the ability to, or I mean, not the ability, but the amount of faith people have. I heard so many people say, if you could have dinner with anybody, who would it be? And we heard Jesus. 9 times out of 10, I feel like we hear Jesus get brought up. And also the love that people have for their kids. I'm not a father yet, so I don't understand it. But just the amount of times that we've heard, when I had my kid, that's when it really ramped up. Or I do it all for my wife and my kids. I heard that a ton on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, faith and family, there ain't no doubt. Absolutely. A couple more that came to mind was when Tristan Gardner explained the "of course I can do that" attitude, and a lot of the entrepreneurs use that same explanation, but he used it in his own unique way. Of course I can do that. Of course I can do that. And in the back of your mind, you have no idea how to do that, but you have to say yes and take action, and then you figure it out as you go. And that was definitely a common theme. And then one of the quotes that stuck out to me was from Jason Lamar. And he said, and it's right in line with with our podcast, and it's a Nipsey Hussle quote. And he said that the number one reason that we are here, that humans are here, is to inspire. And I'm paraphrasing that, but that's the only reason we are here. The highest human act, that's what it said. The highest human act is to inspire others. And hopefully that's what this podcast does for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, fellas. So do we want to go around? We're up on 30 minutes already. Do we want to real quick give a recap of where we are personally?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll go first. So continuing to grow all the businesses, continuing to add units and buy units, even when in a market which people say is super high interest rate, which is not. It's actually historically average. Okay. While you're sitting on the sideline thinking about it, this group of folks right here is doing it. And if you're hanging around with us, you're doing it too, because we have like-minded, motivated mindset folks that hang around with us. So we're continuing to do it as we speak. We're adding units, and we're building. The brokerage is growing. We're continuing to help more and more clients in a tight real estate market, and we're continuing to grow Dream Huge Property Management as well. You can be passionate. You can be all in on multiple things. Okay. You can be obsessed on all things. That's another common theme here. Be obsessed or be average. And we are obsessed in everything that we do. If we're not, we put it aside and we don't mess with it. So that's what we're doing. And just beyond that, personally, I don't know that anybody cares really, but the family is doing great. The boys are getting big, and just lots of baseball, lots of lifting weights, lots of going to the gym. And just facing challenges head on and solving problems for people, and hit me up if you have any questions and I can go into more detail. But hey, we're just helping people out and continuing to grow. That's where we are today.
Pete, how many agents we got at Dream Huge now?
Yeah.
About 40 to 45.
So we can come back at episode 200 and see where we're at.
How many units you got right now, Pete?
We're going to have 203 here shortly.
Woo!
Yep. 203. All personally owned. No partners.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh.
Yeah. So wait till we start teaming up, baby. JP.
All right. Yeah. So, update for me. I mean, similar to Pete too. Just continuing the daily grind and buying units in the meantime. So bought 2 more units this year thus far, up to 8 total now, 2 single families out in Ontario, and keeping the real estate grind, the buying and selling and leasing and investing for my clients, rocking and rolling too. That's been the bread and butter. So already done. I think I'm at 70 transactions so far this year. Just a little under 9 million so far. So just been absolutely rocking and rolling, and blessed to be doing it, man. Blessed that I'm being able to be trusted by as many clients and friends and people as I have been. So, that's really my update, and just keep on adding. Goal is to add 8 more units this year. So I've got 2 already. So got 6 more units on the plate to get added before the end of the year. And we're going to reach that goal. The goal is to do 20 million this year. So as long as we keep it rocking, then hopefully we can accomplish that too. Probably since the last time I gave an update on the podcast, I brought Kenna on. So I brought my first employee on, and Kenna's been a massive help. She was just one of our guests on the pod recently, but she's been a massive help. Really has helped grow the business, and I think she's learning and loving real estate more than she anticipated too. So. Man, that's my update.
Hey, JP, 8 units. What's the total portfolio worth?
I'm a little under $1 million still. I'm about $750,000. So about 750,000.
Amazing. Remind the folks how old you are again.
23, the ripe old age of 23 years old. Yep.
Guys, if you don't, this is why we're out here, to inspire others. So if you're 23 and you ain't got 750,000 at least in your portfolio yet, you need to pick your game up, step your game up, because this thing is unlimited, and the harder you work at it, the more success you can have. And you might, and you said you're at 9, and you talked about hitting 20 million this year in sales. Mm-hmm. Because you continue to help folks, you continue to help buyers save thousands, you continue to help sellers sell over list. So that's the key, man. So fantastic job. And before we get to Biggie and Mark, that reminded me too of something else. This is how, so when you have all these multiple businesses rolling, I wanted to mention a couple more. Interstate Batteries continues to grow up year over year. We have an amazing team over there as well. My wife does an amazing job running everything as well in the background. RX Plus, our house flipping business, who I'm actually partnered with Mark Gray and Dave Litt. That's how an amazing job they do. That it's almost at the back of my mind. And when we close and flip a deal, here's a check. Bam! Because these guys, that's how good of a team they are, right? Dustin was asking me questions about a property we're flipping. Hey, is it 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom? I said, Dustin, I haven't even been in the house. I don't know. He's like, what? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I said, that's how amazing these guys are. And that's what happens when you assemble a team, right? Of people who are smarter than you that can help you succeed by doing that. And so I'm very thankful for the RX Plus Renovate flipping team as well. So if you guys see RX Plus properties hit the MLS, you'll know you're getting quality flips.
Yep. Dave's work is mint, as those kids would say.
Biggie, hit us.
So yeah, update. I guess this is since what, episode 1, or since we've started?
Yeah, man. From the beginning.
It's 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, I had my best year ever, and then hit a ceiling personally, and so now I've had to redo the concept of how I do business, so that I don't over leverage myself in the future for sustainability. So on the crawl up since the end of 2022 or so, it's just been a personal battle to fight the demons within myself after having so much success early on. So it's really, I've been doing this for like 8 years selling, and I swear it doesn't feel that way. But when I hang around too many young people, I feel so freaking old, even though I'm not. I'm just fighting a lot of inner battles and just getting better. But every year is always something like, man, better than it was. I couldn't imagine where I am today. I remember just telling Mark the other day, like, we have this new office now. We used to have a little room, and now we have a full suite, 900 square foot office building. We have our private rooms, and I couldn't imagine being in this place a year ago when I walked it when it was for sale. But here we are. So it's just every year kind of thinking like next year is going to be greater than the next, and just keep going at it. The biggest part about our motto is the middle part, to me, is never give up, because it's literally my life. Dreaming huge, working hard, okay. Well, never giving up, that's the part that is the most challenging, because that is where perseverance comes in. But we live by that, because we're not giving up as hard as it gets. So from here, I'm just making goals for myself to grow as investors, as agents, and just kind of learning how to get better as a person and as a business person.
Love it, man. Yeah, motivation will get you started, but discipline and habits will bring you the success.
That's right.
Absolutely. So has your model changed a little bit, Biggie? Have you gone into focusing more on the investing side?
Yeah. So in terms of everyone generally knows me as a real estate agent, but if you know me, you also know I actually invest. So I'm trying to put that out there more so people don't see me as just an agent, and so that they can potentially bring me deals. But as an agent, I built the whole business on the fact of fast follow-up, get the leads, and just close them. But all my leads were mostly internet leads. From that, I built good relationships with all those people, and they turn into repeat clients. And I don't have to pay for them no more. But, with the market shifting and everything, I made a little error. And so I had to stop paying for those. And so now I'm basically starting again instead of starting all over. So a lot of my business is straight up not spending any money to acquire any leads. It's just pure referrals and putting my name out there.
Yes, and that's what happens over time. And new agents get frustrated with the business. New agents get frustrated when they're only 90 days in and nothing's happening. But you buy those leads and you invest in your business over years, and eventually they will start calling you. And that's what you guys are doing an amazing job of. So, all right, Biggie. So, Mark, give us an update. Where are you?
So personal life, we're doing good. Got 6 and 5-year-old Owen and Hazel, and we got the third one on the way. July we'll have baby number 3. So that's definitely exciting. We are moving to Ontario. We've been living in Madison for the past 6 years, but we just bought a new place and are moving out to Ontario to kind of be more centralized. We lived out here before, just liked it better, I guess. But when it comes to real estate, just investing, doing flips, RX Plus, we got stuff all over the place, man. Still selling, still helping everyone out as much as I can.
How many flips do we have going on right now?
We got 3 in the middle of rehab. We've already completed 2 other ones earlier this year, so we've done 5 so far this year.
Do we have any we're waiting on to receive? Like we put the deposit in and we're waiting to actually receive the property, or have we received everything?
We've received everything. We're just putting offers in and seeing what works.
Gotcha.
But yeah, me and Biggie acquired a condo earlier this year as well that we went in there, remodeled. So we're still moving our numbers up and we're doing what we can.
Very good.
So where are you at now, Mark, unit-wise?
15. I was at 16 earlier this year, but then I sold a duplex, but then acquired a condo.
Let's go.
Heck yeah. Love it, man. Absolutely love it. All right, fellas. Anything else you guys want to touch on? 100th episode. Again, thank you guys so much. Much appreciated. Can't wait to do another 100, another 1,000. These are really good, man. I love doing these. And we've heard from some that we do an amazing job at this. Other professional podcasters have told us that. And we've joked and said maybe this will be our full-time gig someday, and this is what we're actually meant to do. Wouldn't that be something?
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
I saw a statistic the other day. It says most podcasts don't make it past episode 2.
What?
Crazy.
We're at 100.
I preach it. It's all about the follow-up. The sale is in the follow-up. 5 to 12 follow-ups. And there ain't no different when it comes to us putting a podcast out there. We're going to continue to follow up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Closing thoughts, fellas?
Just a couple things as you were thinking there. No one ever asked me how many units I have.
What do you got, Biggie?
I only have like 5. Personally. Mark and I share a little portfolio that we're growing. But I have my first house, and then I have a duplex, which I kind of house hacked in a way. I didn't want it to, but it's a duplex now, and I Airbnb'd that. So that actually is a little update. And that's been going well for like last year. I only had one person make me mad, so that's good. But yeah, that's good. That's in Ontario, prime location. I swear I'd never sell it, and I tried to sell it this year to pay off some debt, and I got reminded, don't do that because the IRS is going to take your money. So I said, okay, we're not doing that. So I got that plus, the couple units that Mark and I share. So I actually own 3 personally.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Just continue to build. 5 is amazing. You say 5 like it's some small number. It's not. It's tremendous.
Yeah.
That quote that we put up the other day on our Thursday meeting had a picture of a Monopoly board. It said, imagine playing the game of Monopoly and just going around the board and just never buying a property and just paying rent and just going in and out of jail and never buying a property. And that's what 95% of the people do.
Right.
So we're here to let you know that you can succeed in this business and we can help you do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would love to do that, help you guys out. But also before I get off, I wanted to just, again, drive home, a huge thank you to the guests, these 3 guys right here, the rest of the Dream Huge team, Christina and the property management team, the RX Plus team, Mark and Dave, my awesome wife and the boys as they continue. And you see the boys messing around at the office, as Rocco and Gavin, as they start to look into what they're going to do when they grow up. It's pretty cool to see them growing up and coming along, right. And everybody else involved, my parents, everybody involved, the guests. So yeah, thank you. And if I didn't thank you, you're thanked. You can't thank everybody. Appreciate y'all very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Pete.
Yep.
And all you guys.
Yep. All right, y'all. We're up over 42 minutes. We will see you on episode 101. Back to your standard regular programming. Thank you for tuning in, y'all. And as always, remember the rules. Work hard, never give up, and dream huge. Oh, yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Dream Huge podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. For more inspiring content, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Dream Huge Realty and on TikTok at Dream Huge Inc. Until next time.